You know how it's always said when it rains, well, my lawn sure needed it? It's what happened to the Cowboys today. It's a day off for the players, but it's not a day off for Inside Cowboys Training Camp, brought to you by Ford. Welcome, everyone. Brad Sham with Mickey Spagnola. The morning and afternoon rains actually did some good at the Star, because the reason they moved, as you pointed out last week, the reason they moved inside for all the practices pretty much into the Ford Center was because of an unwanted fungus. I'm calling it the corona fungus that grew on the lawn.
On the field, yeah.
So they tore it up and resodded it, and now what? It rained, and now it's ready to go.
Oh, I tell you what, Chris, the grass guy here, he's in heaven. He just got a whole lot of rain on a new field that they put down over the weekend, Brad. And they've got the yard lines, the numbers stenciled in. He said it's ready to go, even though it's been only down for 1, 2, 3, 4 days.
You need him at your house.
Yeah, I told him. I said, come on over.
Now, it's supposed to rain again tomorrow, so I don't know if they'll be outside for when practice does resume tomorrow or not. But even though there was no practice today, it's never time to take off rumors about Earl Thomas, apparently. The former Pro Bowl and All-Pro safety is, as you know, on the market. He and the Cowboys are seemingly endlessly linked, and there were websites today reporting that the Cowboys still had interest.
Well, they were reporting that because on 105.3 The Fan, when Jerry did his segment this morning, they asked him about Earl Thomas, and he said straightforward that he has not had any personal discussions with Earl, nor has anybody with the team, but at this time of year, we're always looking at ways to get the team better, and we have discussions about guys like him and everybody else if they can make the team better. And then he pointed out, Brad, as you know, Jerry, to say, he said it would be misleading or not misleading because you know what, whatever I say, I'm not going to tell 1,000 people, and maybe some of those will be our opponents.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And there's another thing to consider, too, with Earl. You said he's out there.
Yeah.
He's still out there, by the way.
Yeah.
No one else has touched him. But my guess is maybe they're waiting for a guy like that after that first week of the season where you don't have to guarantee the contract if something happens down the line.
I have a very good friend who's in the car business who says it's not the money, it's the money. and that might be the case here. Later on in this evening's program, we're going to talk about players who have stood out or surprised each of us on both sides of the ball. When we come back, Nick's got a really interesting look at Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott as he prepares for the season. This is Inside Cowboys Training Camp, brought to you by Ford.
Inside Cowboys Training Camp, presented by Ford, is brought to you by AT&T. Sleep Number. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed helps everyone from parents to pros improve their performance through quality sleep. Only at a Sleep Number store. And by Ford. Visit your local Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. This segment is brought to you by Sleep Number. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed helps everyone from parents to pros improve their performance through quality sleep. Only at a Sleep Number store.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Inside Cowboys Training Camp, brought to you by Ford. Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott met with reporters virtually yesterday, and Mickey has this summary of his scouting report on the 2020 Dallas Cowboys.
This might be hard to comprehend, but Ezekiel Elliott, at just 25 years old, will be starting his 5th season with the Cowboys, which more than qualifies the Pro Bowl running back to have an opinion on the quality of these 2020 Cowboys.
I think so. This is probably the most talented team I've been on. Look at the depth chart. Look at the roster. Just look how many, Pro Bowlers, how many All-Pro guys we have out there, and I think it's just unmatched.
And even though there's been no offseason to speak of and a delayed start to training camp because of the COVID-19 pandemic, Zeke is ready to get going after Monday's final training camp practice.
I think we're looking great. I think we're at a good spot. Defensively, we're so deep on the defensive line, and then we got the great, that great linebacker trio, and with the good DBs, and on offense, you got the veteran O-line. Those guys are, they're very good every year, and just so many weapons on the outside with Dak leading us. So I think we're at a good point right now. I'm excited, and I'm ready to get this thing rolling.
And maybe looking the best is his sidekick, quarterback Dak Prescott, also starting his 5th season with the Cowboys.
I think he's ready. He's a pro. There's never a doubt in my mind that if he's going to be ready for the season, and if he's going to go out there and perform and lead us the way he's capable of doing. So, Dak's a pro. He's going to be ready. He's going to be firing on all cylinders.
And the start of the 2020 season is now just 12 days away.
Everybody knows what to expect from Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott, but Mickey and I are going to talk about some players who maybe are not quite as high on your radar when we come back on Inside Cowboys Training Camp, brought to you by Ford.
This segment was brought to you by Sleep Number. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed helps everyone from parents to pros improve their performance through quality sleep. Only at a Sleep Number store.
Welcome back. It's Inside Cowboys Training Camp, brought to you by Ford. Brad Sham and Mickey Spagnola, day off from practice for the players today. This is our last week of these programs, by the way, because training camp, I think it's technically over. That's what the printed schedule says, but it still feels a little training camp-ish. And they haven't cut down yet. That comes this weekend. That's when you know training camp is over, when they cut to 53 players. So maybe it's a good idea for us to talk about a couple of guys who have either stood out to us or surprised us, who are not on the tip of everyone's tongue. Go first.
I'll take the offense first, and I think that we've known about Cedric Wilson, Cowboys wide receiver. Last 2 years, he's been injured, on and off, injured reserve. Well, he has really stepped up this training camp, and he has solidified, I think, the 4th receiver position. So I don't know if people were expecting that or not, but he certainly stepped out. And then I like Blake Jarwin, the tight end. Everybody's wondering, what are you going to do without Jason Witten? Well, Dak Prescott seems to have a lot of confidence in Blake Jarwin on the offensive side of the ball.
And for me on offense, I think I would mention a guy we talked about the other day, and that would be Noah Brown, who looks to me like, especially with Ventel Bryant injured, Noah Brown's got the inside spot, in my opinion, on the 5th wide receiver position, not just because he's a good special teams player, but he's kind of remade himself physically. He's faster than he used to be. He looks more like a receiver than a blocker. How about on defense?
On defense, I wanted to point this out, not from a talent standpoint, but taking charge. Leighton Vander Esch has moved to middle linebacker, and he's acting like a middle linebacker on the field. He's barking out instructions. He's getting guys lined up. That's what you want from your middle linebacker. And then we didn't know what we were getting from Aldon Smith, but I think the Cowboys are getting a lot from Aldon Smith.
And I'm going to maybe surprise you a little bit, but I'm going to throw the name of Tristan Hill out there. Expectations are somewhat low because his rookie year was a little disappointing, but just watching him in practice when they actually have numbers on their jerseys. Yesterday, for instance, he showed a lot of burst rushing the passer. I think Tristan Hill might be a valuable contributor for them. Back to practice tomorrow. Back at the same old stand tomorrow night for Mickey and me on Inside Cowboys Training Camp, brought to you by Ford.
Inside Cowboys Training Camp, presented by Ford, was brought to you by AT&T. Sleep Number, the Sleep Number 360 smart bed, helps everyone from parents to pros improve their performance through quality sleep. Only at a Sleep Number store. Ford. Visit your local Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. And by the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.